The presidential election in Nigeria was being closely watched by Christian leaders in the country. The election took place on February 25 and had a record 93 million registered voters. The nation is currently facing issues such as widespread insecurity, persecution, and corruption. For the first time since 1999, none of the candidates had a military background. One of the contenders, Peter Obi, is a Christian and was being supported by 5 out of 7 Nigerian Christian leaders who were interviewed by Christianity Today. Obi was one of the 3 candidates projected to have a realistic chance of winning the election. Nigeria is a West African nation with a population of about 220 million and is known as the Giant of Africa. The country has approximately 370 ethnic groups who speak 520 languages. The leading candidates represent the 3 largest ethnic groups in the country, with Atiku Abubakar and Muhammadu Buhari being Fulani Muslims from the north, and Bola Tinubu being a Yoruba Muslim from the southwest. Obi, on the other hand, is an Igbo Christian from the southeast. The presidential election in Nigeria requires the first-round winner to claim 50% of the overall tally and at least 25% of the votes in 24 of 36 regional states. With no clear front-runner, Nigeria may face a runoff election. The country is roughly divided between Christians and Muslims, with both groups accounting for 50% of the population. Traditionally, the presidency has rotated geographically between the majority Muslim North and the majority Christian South. However, this election, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, decided to stick with Abubakar, a northern Fulani Muslim who has failed to win in the past. This decision was seen as an attempt to seize the traditionally unified voting bank of northern Fulani peoples that helped bring Buhari to power. The Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, pledged to oppose the Muslim ticket chosen by the All Progressive Congress, APC, which represents the breach of religious political protocol. The APC chose Tinubu, a southern Muslim, as its candidate for the presidency and a northern Muslim as his running mate. This decision was made to avoid losing the northern vote. Obi's campaign is focused on competence and youth rather than ethnicity. His supporters call themselves Obedience, referring to the social movement that has rallied around him outside of traditional political structures. Obi is the youngest of the main candidates, and as a former businessman and governor of Anambra State, he earned a reputation for thrift and investing in education while leaving behind a budget surplus. His critics point out that his name was mentioned in the Pandora Papers investigation, which looked into offshore accounts, although he was never charged. Additionally, they question his ability to govern smoothly if he wins the election since he lacks a political base in the halls of government. Obi has chosen a Muslim vice president from the northern Kaduna state to assist him in the north. The Nigerian government has taken steps to ensure a transparent voting process by instituting biometric safeguards on voter identity. However, at least 23 officials are being investigated for their alleged roles in illegal registration, and authorities have scrubbed 2.7 million names from the list. Past elections in Nigeria have been impacted by violence, and there have already been more than 125 attacks on federal election offices, with 280 polling stations closed in insecure areas. One Senate candidate has already been assassinated, a Labour politician in the Igbo-majority southeast state of Enugu. At age 70, Tinubu asserts his competence and defends his choice of a Muslim vice president by claiming that religion should play no role in politics. Despite his Christian wife's ordination in a leading Pentecostal denomination, he diminishes concerns of sectarianism. As a pro-democracy activist, he was exiled and is credited with boosting the economy as governor of Lagos, the economic capital of Nigeria. Tinubu aims to replicate this success on a national scale. Critics allege that despite increased revenue, Lagos lacked infrastructure development and that political patronage distributed the spoils. Though he was cleared twice on corruption charges, Tinubu was implicated in a U.S. Justice Department report on heroin trafficking. He settled via a fine without admitting guilt. At age 76, Abubakar relies on his long political history while campaigning on a platform of reuniting a divided country. His Christian vice presidential partner from the southern Delta state is notable in this regard. Abubakar is a former oil sector businessman and vice president under Olusegun Obasanjo, a Christian who was Nigeria's president from 1999 to 2007. He led the administration's economic team and instituted a series of successful reforms. Charitably, he established the American University in his northern Adamawa state, which offered scholarships to some of the Chibok girls abducted by Boko Haram jihadists. Critics argue that Abubakar will find it difficult to unite a nation that his controversial geographic candidacy divided his own party. They also accuse him of cronyism and transferring suspect funds, although he faced no trial. Allegations have never been proven in Nigeria. Many Christians are worried that Muslims will continue to dominate the nation's top offices by passing power from one Fulani to another. Abubakar, husband to 4 wives and father of 28 children, controversially deleted a tweet condemning the mob murder of a Christian university student accused of blaspheming Islam. "I support Peter Obi," said Emiola Nyanlola, president of the Nigerian Baptist Theological Seminary, NBTS, in southwest Nigeria, citing Obi's performance as governor. "There are good reasons to fear that a Muslim presidency will lead to greater discrimination against Christians. My preference for the president is one whom I have identified as a transformational political leader," said Yusufu Turaki, professor of theology and social ethics at the Evangelical Church Winning All (ECWA) seminary in the North Central Plateau State, without disclosing his selection. "He must have moral and ethical character, as well as human and social skills. I support Peter Obi because he seems to be the least controversial of the three, and the one least likely to pursue an Islamization agenda," said T. Joseph, affiliated with a Lagos seminary. Using a pseudonym, he protects his institution in the midst of political violence. Tinubu may be emasculated by northern Muslims while the real power will reside in the vice president. Christians in the PDP have the freedom to honor their party allegiance, and the Muslim ticket shouldn't completely disqualify lower-tier APC candidates, said Gideon Paramalam, founder of the Paramalam Peace Foundation and a leadership catalyst with the Lausanne movement. However, this election is a referendum on good governance, and Obi's appeal has become irresistible. "I support the Labour Party because Obi is a younger person with a vision." Joseph asserts that unemployment and hyperinflation are the primary pain points for most Nigerians, and therefore many are likely to vote against the ruling party. However, many sources believe that the majority of Nigerians will vote based on traditional party affiliation, ethnicity, and religious affiliation. This tendency towards voting along these lines makes it challenging for Nigeria to achieve true national politics, as ethnic and religious concerns overshadow specific issues. This could be addressed if the issue of ethnocentrism is tackled head-on. Many people expect Christians to vote based on religious identity, with many Christians feeling persecuted by the current government. Christians have suffered more deaths and abductions in Nigeria in recent years than Muslims, leading to fears that a Muslim presidency could lead to increased persecution. Some feel that only the Labour Party can guarantee an end to Christian persecution. The issue of political restructuring is also a contentious one in Nigeria. The idea of devolving authority from the capital of Abuja to the 6 major geographical areas is seen as a solution to the current power imbalance between the presidency and legislature and the regions. However, political restructuring is not seen as a solution to the issue of corruption, which is seen as the primary obstacle to the country's progress. Ultimately, many see this election as a turning point in Nigeria's history. It could lead to greater social cohesion or further entrenched division, depending on the outcome. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.